Hello everybody, this is your main man Keith here from Keith Plays PS4 927. Happy Tuesday morning to all my awesome viewers on this awesome channel. We are in Game 5 of the Eastern Conference first round playoffs for our 95-96 Chicago Bulls series. And we are leading the series 3-1 over the 06-07 Cleveland Cavaliers. And we're just one win away from advancing on to the Eastern Conference semifinals. And if we win that episode, we are going to play against the 12-13 Heat. So we'll play against LeBron James for the second straight round in a row, but different team and different number. So if we win it, we'll send the Cavs home 4-1. We are going to be in Chicago, by the way, and we'll show you the uniforms and we'll see you in the tip-off. Alright, so the Cleveland Cavaliers are going to be wearing their classic away 03 through 10 uniforms. Meanwhile, for the Chicago Bulls, they're going to be wearing their classic home 92 through 04 white uniforms at home. So without a further ado, we'll see you guys at tip-off. Alright, it is tip-off time here at the United Center in Chicago. The Cavaliers have won the tip-off, so now Cleveland is going to pass it. Well, Daniel Gibson is going to pass it over to Zydrunas Ilgauskas, and Ilgauskas makes the dunk to start off the game for Cleveland. Chicago, Michael Jordan gets this one in there for 2 points. It is evenly tied up 2-2. LeBron James losing the basketball off of Michael Jordan, and MJ makes a nice steal and that nice dunk in the paint. So now LeBron James is going to pass it over to Daniel Gibson. So now MJ makes another steal for the Bulls, and he is going to knock down a three for Chicago, and it's now 7-2. LeBron James going to pass it over to Daniel Gibson, and then Gibson picks it up. Zydrunas Ilgauskas getting it in there in the paint. So we're going to pass it over to Scottie Pippen. And Pippen makes a Air Jordan dunk in the paint. So it's now going to be 9-4 here in Chicago. Larry Hughes with possession. Losing the basketball. It is Jordan that picks it up. I'm actually going to pass it over to Dennis Rodman. So Rodman gets it in. So it's now 11-4 here in Chicago. So now Gibson losing the basketball. Ron Harper going to pass it over to Rodman. And there is a foul on Zydrunas Ilgauskas. So now it is Dennis Rodman going to go to the free-throw line once at it. He actually misses that. So it's now going to be 13-4. And Larry Hughes getting it in for 2. So now we got Jordan going to pass it over to Scottie Pippen. So Jordan is going to pick up the assist, 15-6 by the way. And LeBron James is going to lose the basketball. Pippen fakes it, passing it over. Then Rodman, going to think about using Michael Jordan here on this play. Knocks a three from behind the arc, and it's now going to be 18-6. So now LeBron James going to pass it over to Daniel Gibson. Ilgauskas getting it in there, so Gibson will pick up the assist. So now both teams are at 100% in field goals. So now Pippen gets this one in for 2, and it's now 20-8 here in Chicago. So now Larry Hughes losing the basketball. Pippen makes the dunk, and it's now 22-8. So now Daniel Gibson with possession of the basketball. Where is he going to take this direction to? And it looks like that he loses it. Going to pass it over to Michael Jordan, and we're actually going to hit a three. And we are actually going to take a break. It is now 25-8. Alright, it is now 17 seconds left. Eric Snow with the possession of the basketball. He's going to pass it over to Jones, and that is going to be a three for Cleveland. So now Ron Harper gets it in the paint there. So it's now 6.1 seconds left. So now LeBron James going to pass it over to Drew Gooden. James picks up the assist, by the way. And we're going to pass it over. And this ends the first quarter here in Chicago. Bulls are up by 14 at home. Alright, it is now 32-18. We are going to pass over to Steve Kerr and then use some Judd Bletcher and then use some Tony Kukoc. Gets it in there. It's now 34-18. So now LeBron James, the Akron, Ohio native, out on the court for the Cavaliers. Going to pass over Drew Gooden. So now LeBron James gets the assist. So now we're going to pass it over to some Steve Kerr, who is now the Golden State Warriors head coach. Gets it in there. So it's now 36-20. It is somewhat surprising to see a current NBA coach to feature them when they were players. I mean, Doc Rivers was a player for the 85-86 Atlanta Hawks, and now you get to see Steve Kerr with the 95-96 Chicago Bulls. And the Bulls take a timeout. Alright, we did a minor depth chart substitution there, so now we got Michael Jordan going to make a slam dunk for the Chicago Bulls. So this was just right now LeBron James trying to stop Michael Jordan from getting a dunk. So now MJ makes that steal. He gets this one in for two. So it's now 40-22. 17 points for Michael Jordan. And now LeBron James, there is a foul. It's on Michael Jordan. It's a reach-in foul, by the way. So now Larry Hughes with possession. And now Ron Harper, he's going to pass it over to Scottie Pippen. So now Ron Harper with the assist. So this Chicago Bulls team has been really dunking throughout the first half of this game. So now Larry Hughes makes the two-pointer count. So we're going to use some Ron Harper. Going to pass it over to Rodman, making that three. The release was very early, though, but we still got it in no matter what. So now Jones with the possession. There's 1:58 to go in the first half here in Chicago. Varejao gets it in there. So now Michael Jordan's going to pass over to Scottie Pippen. We're going to use MJ. He's going to go into, well, not far from the paint, actually. Gets it in there. 19 points, and he has 4 mid-range points. So 21 points more for Chicago. Make that 24 with MJ with that three. And it's now going to be 50-26. So now Jordan making another steal. He's actually going to pass it over to Pippen. He will actually get a three-pointer. So it's now going to be 53-26 at the moment. So now Jones losing the basketball. Varejao going to pass it over to Jones. And there is a foul on Steve Kerr. So now Varejao passing it over to Daniel Gibson. So now Varejao picks up the assist. And now I'm thinking about passing it over to Michael Jordan. So now Jordan with a slam. And it's now 55. Is it 55-29 or something like that? It's 29-55. So Larry Hughes going to pass it over to Marshall. Donyell Marshall. So now Donyell Marshall, he's going to pass it over to Larry Hughes. So now Larry Hughes, he's going to get that in the paint there. So now we're going to use some actually, is his first name D Brown? Might be. But Michael Jordan gets it in there. So it's now 57-31. And now Daniel Gibson losing the basketball. Jordan making that steal. He is actually going to get it in there for two. Daniel Gibson with a shooting foul. And this means Jordan is going to go to the free throw line. He will get that in there. It is now 60-31. So LeBron James is out on the court for the Cavaliers. He is actually going to get that layup. So it's now 60 to 33. We're going to pass it to the other side of the court with Michael Jordan. So now Michael Jordan gets this one in there for two. Now it's going to be 62-33. And now Eric Snow, the Canton, Ohio native, losing the basketball. And he's going to pick it back up. 7 seconds to go. There is no shot clock left for the first half. So we're going to pass it over to Jordan. Gets it in before the buzzer beater even hits. So 0.9 seconds to go. Cleveland is not going to score, and they won't. It is halftime. Chicago up by 29, 64-35. All right, we are back from the half. So it's now 64-35 here in Chicago. And Michael Jordan gets the first points of the second half in. So it's now 66-35. LeBron James, the Akron native, passing it over to Gibson. And then Ilgauskas making that dunk. So it's now going to be 66-37. We're going to pass it over to Pippen. So now Jordan will get the assist. So it's now 15 points for Scottie Pippen. And now LeBron James trying to attempt a spin move, passing it over to Ilgauskas, gets it in there. James with the assist. So we're going to pass it over to Pippen. And then some MJ once at it, drills a three from behind the arc. And it's now 71-39. So now Larry Hughes has possession. Going to pass it over to Donyell Marshall. So Donyell Marshall makes that dunk. So now Pippen gonna pass it over to Dennis Rodman. So Pippen will pick up the assist. And it is already now 73-41 here in the Windy City. And Chicago is up by 32. LeBron James passing it over to Larry Hughes. So James is going to pick up an assist for Cleveland as Hughes makes that three. I'm going to use some Pippen once at it, gets it in 75-44. So it's now 13 points in the first half, 100% in field goals, which is really good. James passing out to Ilgauskas, gets it in there. And it's now 75-46. And now Pippen has... Michael Jordan has possession of the basketball. At first, I thought it would be a 3 there. 33 on his jersey, but it wasn't. So, it's probably because of my camera brightness, if I apologize for that. So now Gibson passing over to Ilgauskas, and then Gibson gets it in. So it's now 48-78. Jordan with a 3, and it's now going to be 81-48. So now Larry Hughes with possession of the basketball. It's a 33-point lead here for Chicago. So now Jordan passing it over to Rodman. So now Rodman makes the dunk. It's now 83-48. So LeBron James with possession. Where's he going to take this direction to? Passing it over to Larry Hughes. So now Hughes is going to pass it over to Ilgauskas. And then Daniel Gibson. And then some Donyell Marshall, number 24. There is a foul on Scottie Pippen. That's going to be a shooting foul. So he is going to go to the free throw line once at it. And will he actually get this one in? Yes, he will. So now Jordan has possession of the basketball. And now Jordan gets it in there. So it's now going to be 85-51. 46 points for MJ today, and 12 of which were in the paint. There is no doubt in my mind that he is going to wind up being player of the game, and he will be, and he makes a super slam there. It's now going to be 87-51. Cleveland is already down by 36, so they don't want to trail by too much any longer. So now we got Jordan out on the court, gets it in, so it's now 89-51. And we are actually going to take a break. I will notify the score after the third. All right, this is the end of the third quarter, so it's now 92-51 here at the United Center. So the Bulls are up by 41. So Steve Kerr actually made a three-pointer to end this third quarter. He was somewhat close from making that buzzer beater, but he made it before the buzzer beater even hit. All right, this is the beginning of the fourth quarter here in Chicago, and there is a foul on Drew Gooden. It's an illegal screening. So this means it's our time to shine with the basketball. So now we got Dennis Rodman out on the court for the Chicago Bulls. So now Rodman getting this one in there for 2 points. So it's now going to be 94-51. We just need 6 more points to make the triple-digit mark. So now LeBron James with that dunk. And look at that nice dunk by them. The Chicago Bulls defender, I think it was believed to have been Ron Harper, or maybe not Ron Harper. But that was a decent block. So now Pippen makes the dunk for Chicago on top of LeBron James as well. So that was a little comeback there. 96-53. We just need 4 more points to make it to the 1-0-0 mark, and we definitely will. We got 3 minutes left to go, and with the scoring situation right now, it looks like that we're going to take the W. 16 steals and 42 points off of turnovers for Chicago, and LeBron James losing the basketball, picking it back up. So now LeBron James loses it. And we're going to pass it over to Steve Kerr. There is a foul on Jones. So now Steve Kerr is going to go to the free-throw line. Makes that first one in for Chicago. And will he make the second attempt in? That means we get 100 points already in this episode. And there could be a possibility that we could have at least 120 some. So now Rodman with a dunk. It's now 102-53. And now Brown with the possession. Rodman makes the steal once at it. Gets it in. There is a foul. 104-53. Now it will probably be 105-53. Because Rodman got that three-throw in. So it's now going to be 105-53 with 2:20 to go in the fourth. And Chicago is up by 50 points. So now Rodman gets it in there for 2. All right, Michael Jordan with 50 points tonight. He is going to be your player of the game. We are going to go over the numbers after the episode. After the game, rather. So now Ron Harper with 1 minute and 38 seconds to go. It's now 111-58. So now Brown with the possession of the basketball makes that nice spin move. Going to pass it over to Smith. So now Smith has possession. And it looks like he's going to pass it over to Scott Pollard. Gets it in there. And it's now 111-60. So I'm going to pass it over to Scottie Pippen. Gets it in there. It's now 113-60 with 1:17 to go in the fourth quarter. Pippen makes the steal, makes a dunk happen. It's now 115-60. So Cleveland will not advance in 1 minute and 10 seconds left. So now Pippen makes the steal, gets that layup in there. It's now 117-60. And there is about less than a minute to go here in Chicago. So this is game 5. So this is going to be the last wild card playoff game. I meant first round though. Still same thing. So now Rodman makes a dunk. It's now 119 to 60. So now they're going to attempt a 3, and they actually get it in there. So we're going to pass it over to Brown, and then Pippen gets this one in. So it's now 121 to 63, 37.6 seconds to go. And it looks like Jordan makes that steal. I'm going to pass it over to Scottie Pippen, gets it in, and it's now 123 to 63. All right, 8.3 seconds to go. We are going to pass it over to Scottie Pippen. We're going to get this one in for 2 points. This is going to be the end of the playoffs. First round, rather, and the 95-96 Chicago Bulls advance 125 to 63 is the final here at the United Center. So this wraps it up. Thank you guys for watching. I'm going to go over statistics right now. All right, Michael Jordan with 50 points, 4 assists, 9 steals, 4 dunks on the day, 7 for 7 from 3-pointers. So Scottie Pippen has 31 points, 5 assists, 7 steals, 5 dunks for him on the day. Dennis Rodman had 26 points, 3 assists, 2 steals, 3 dunks. Steve Kerr, 12 points in all. Moving on to Cleveland's Adrinas Ilgauskas, 12 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists on the day, 2 dunks. LeBron James, 11 points, 5 assists, 1 dunk on the day. Larry Hughes had 9 points in all. Drew Gooden had 8 points and 1 assist. So this wraps it up here in Chicago. We'll see you guys in round 2 against the 12-13 Miami Heat.